Good evening and welcome to KiwaniTalk here at the Dearborn High School. This program is sponsored by the Dearborn Kiwanis Club along with the Dearborn High School Production Department. It's always an honor to be here because while we're here, we bring really amazing people in to share their passions, their community service, and I'm super excited to be here tonight because my best friend for over 20 years is here to talk to us about a project that is dear and close to her heart. So I'm Renee, and I am the Lieutenant Governor for Division 2, and my guest here tonight is Cindy Greening. And right now, she plays many roles, but she is the Vice President of the Board of Directors for Gianna's house. So welcome, Cindy, and thank you for taking the time to be here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Cindy's also a member of the Kiwanis Club of Clinton Valley. I think Cindy and we've done a lot of different organizations, nonprofits, because it's dear to our heart to go and help those that we can help as much as we possibly can, from children's literacy to adult programs. And I think Cindy, I talk so much about Kiwanis, even though she lives on the other side of town and she couldn't join Dearborn, which I would have loved to have her be a part of that. But Cindy did reach out to the Clinton Valley group, and she joined that Kiwanis club and is very active in that club also.
It's been 2.5 years. They are an amazing group of people. I'm currently on the board serving as secretary, and we're an extremely active group.
Yes, you are. You guys meet in the morning, afternoon, or dinner?
We meet in the mornings.
In the morning. So that's pretty hard to get up real early to go meet for Kiwanis, have a meeting, and then still be able to go back to work for most people.
Yep.
Yes, well,
it works.
I'm glad that you finally listened and wanted to join Kiwanis. They're very lucky to have you. But now you took a different direction in your life, and you joined. How did you get to want to be a part of Gianna House?
My husband is very active in the Knights of Columbus, and we heard about Gianna House when it was a fledgling organization. It was started in 2011 by Sister Diane Masson, who was looking for somewhere to serve her passion for teenage girls who really needed help. And she discovered that a lot of teens who were pregnant were homeless because the shelters in the state are not allowed to take in minors. So she decided that there was this gap between teenage pregnant girls and the services available to them, and decided that she wanted to open a residence program. So they looked for properties. It took some time. They found a former convent at St. Veronica's Catholic Church in Eastpointe, and they started renovating that convent. Unfortunately, Sister Diane did not live to see the fruition. She passed away a couple of years ago, but she left behind a lot of passionate people. And as in May of this year, we are state licensed, the first one in the state licensed to house pregnant teens.
That's amazing. That's awesome. So where did the name Gianna come from? That is, to me, that's Italian. It's an Italian name.
It is an Italian name.
Yep.
Yes, you know Italian. And Gianna was a physician in Italy and a homemaker, and she was having a problem pregnancy after having several children, and it became very dire. And she told the doctors, if it comes between me, my life, or my child's, you save my child.
Oh, wow.
So she chose life for her baby, even though it cost her her own life.
Really? Wow.
So, of course.
How long ago was that? I mean, what year was that?
I want to say 1955.
Okay.
I want to say 1955. So, for me, when I heard about Gianna House, it was just the next right step, because being so passionate about the sanctity of human life, I've always said, if you're going to tell a woman to choose life, then you'd better be there to help her once she does.
Right.
And so with Gianna House, we have, we're licensed for 6 mothers and their babies. The teenagers come into our program. A lot of times they've come from houses that are just horror shows, and they are so grateful to be there. We give them a safe residence. They get medical care, which for some of them who are pregnant, they haven't had any medical care. They have the opportunity to finish school.
Are they allowed to go back into the school? Because years ago, if you were pregnant, you couldn't attend the school.
Yes, they can go to school.
Okay.
And they can do it online or at one of the local schools.
Oh, okay.
And then they can stay at Gianna House for up to 1 year after they have the baby.
Really? Do they have to work in between that to help support
They
the
are not
the babies?
required
They're
to
not
work.
Required.
They're required to finish their education.
Mm-hmm.
They also have classes on site that will help them be better prepared to go out into the world and be self-supporting. So Gianna House is a hand up, not a hand out.
Yeah.
We have a lot of different classes, not only for the girls who are in the resident program, but we also have an extremely dynamic outreach program that's been running for 4 years while we've been working to get licensed with the state for pregnant teens. And we've helped thousands of women of any age who are underserved in the community who have come to Gianna House for help. We used to just make bags up of the things they told us that they need and hand them out, but now we've changed that a little bit, and you have to take the classes and then you
Show
earn
up.
baby bucks.
Yeah, okay.
And then you take those baby bucks and you can go shopping in our store for your diapers and wipes and clothing.
Is that for the outreach program or both? Resident
The
and
outreach program.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
The residents are having their needs met.
Okay.
So these other women are coming in and they are taking, we have a whole variety of classes from safe sleep,
Yeah.
safe car seat use,
Yeah.
nutritional cooking, and fun things like scrapbooking and sewing and knitting. And then we have people who will come in and give classes on money management.
How long the period of time are these classes? Like a month, or do they have to attend so many classes?
Every time they attend a class, they get their baby bucks.
Okay.
So different classes will have different time frames.
So you could go like safe sleep. It wouldn't be just
That would
one
just be-
night. It would
safe
be
sleep would
okay.
just be the one
but
night.
others could be a couple weeks. You'd have to go
If
for
you're
the same
learning to
training.
sew clothes for your children,
Okay,
that's
that's-
much
okay.
longer term.
Okay, okay. So is there a criteria for anyone who needs that, whether it's outreach or different criteria for residents?
The residents must be 17 or under.
Okay,
The outreach, we help mothers of any age, whether they're pregnant or they already have the children. If they need help, we help them.
so how many do you have on a waiting list?
Well, we don't have a waiting list right now. We
That
have,
could be a good thing, because that means there's not a lot of pregnant teens.
well, the teen pregnancies are down in Michigan, thank God.
Okay,
But we're also getting the word out into the community. Having been started by a Catholic organization, we are now that we have our residents and we're moving on building on that, now we need to get the word out further into the community with other community organizations, other faith denominations. We're here, we're available to help, and so those are our next steps that the board is taking.
so does the residents or outreach have to live in a certain demographic area, or they can come from Dearborn?
They can come from anywhere they want. Most of our outreach program is in Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb counties, just because we're located in Eastpointe and it's central.
Okay.
You know, some of these women, they pack up their children and get on buses and
Yeah.
come for these classes.
Yeah.
And not only are they getting the supplies they need for their child and learning new skills, but they have said over and over again, we just love coming here. You know, when you walk in the door of Gianna House, it is such a loving, open, accepting, non-judgmental place. And a lot of these young women have never had that.
So do they like have their own rooms, or is it
Oh,
open?
yes.
They have their each.
Yes, every mom who's a resident has a suite. So they have a room for themselves, and then through the door, they have a little room for the baby.
Oh.
So the mom has her little space,
Yeah.
and then the baby has their space.
Yeah.
And then there's, of course, there's a lot of open space for all the residents
Yeah.
to share, living space.
So walk me through, so a pregnant teen comes there. Number one, however they get there. What do you? I mean, I walk in and say I need help. What do you do?
There's an intake process.
Okay.
So we have an executive director, and she would talk to them, and first of all, she would have to check out the age, find out a little bit about her home situation, how we can help, what she's most in need of. And then we have a healthcare worker who does an assessment. We have counselors that they can talk to because these young women need someone to talk to. And then we have night monitors. So there's someone there, of course, 24 hours a day. These young women are children themselves.
Right.
We have a house mother.
Okay.
And we have a lot of volunteers.
So obviously you only have like 7 residents at this point.
We're licensed for 6.
6.
Today we have 3.
Oh, okay.
And we have had 2 baby births
Oh.
since we opened in May, and we have 2 more coming in April and June.
So how are you, other than wonderful KiwaniTalk, getting the word out? How do you, I mean, I'm surprised you only have 3 rooms filled. Okay, I guess that's a good thing, but how do you let teens know that there is help available for them?
Well, first of all, we have had other residents who have come and gone.
Okay.
You have to understand that these young women have been so traumatized, and chaos is sometimes all they know. And they go back to what's familiar to them. They either go back to, the fathers of the babies because now he's not going to hit me anymore or whatever. So, but in terms of getting the word out, we're getting out with like all our organizations like Alternatives for Girls.
Okay. What is the boundaries? Like if the girls have a father that is, wants to be or hears about it and then they want to come back, I mean, what do you allow as far as communication between the baby's father and the girl and the mother?
Well, I don't think that we've had that issue so far.
Okay.
If there has been an issue, it must have been minor because it wasn't brought to the board of directors.
Okay.
We have a lot of hands-on and a lot of counseling, and most of the time the fathers are just, they're absent. They're absent.
Yeah. So how far along, I mean, if I come to you, the teen comes to you 4 or 5 months, or is it a certain period of time?
No, if she's pregnant and needs a home, she's
right
welcome
away?
at Gianna House.
Okay, so, some leave obviously come from a bad situation. Sometimes parents don't want them there because
A lot
they're
of times
teen.
the parents don't want them. They don't want the responsibility. They have drug addictions themselves. The parents have been abusers themselves. So there's just a lot of chaos for these young women.
Do you put the word out into like the schools if in the
Yes.
schools they let you know of a troubled teen?
Well, it's up to the teenager or her guardian or parent, but the schools do know, and we are getting the word out to the local schools. Like I said, we're going to start spreading more around the churches. We've been talking to Alternatives for Girls and other Vista Maria, and also social media.
Okay, and then they're allowed to stay there a year
Up to a year after the baby is born.
after this. So they could be there 9 months. The baby's born, and then they have 3 more months to stay, or another
they get
year.
a whole year after the baby's born. And we have an aftercare program. So we will help them transition
Okay.
after they have to leave. When a child leaves foster care, they're on their own. And
Yeah.
a lot of times they become homeless.
Yeah.
It's just really sad. But by the time our young ladies leave, they're going to be trained, they're going to have a job, they're going to have some money management skills. You know, they're going to have some life skills that they may not have come to us with.
Okay.
And then we have an outreach program that will track and help them as they move on to their next steps.
Okay. So they've graduated and you've helped them, and so they get to a low point again, and they perhaps get pregnant again with still no father around. Is that like, can they repeat, or they're pretty much, you've
Well,
taught
by
them
then
to
they're not 17 anymore.
17. So 17 to what?
13 to 17-year-old, we are licensed
Okay.
to take them in and provide their care and their home.
Okay. Okay, we're going to take a break for a couple minutes, and we will be right back. Stay tuned.
Kids show so much creativity in one little finger. Of course, where's that little finger been?
Hi, and welcome back to KiwaniTalk. I'm here tonight at the Dearborn High School Production Department and KiwaniTalk through Dearborn Kiwanis, and our guest tonight is Cynthia Greening, one of my dearest friends, and we're talking about Gianna House, which is an amazing place for children of 13 to 17-year-old teenagers that get pregnant and have no place to go. And you talked about programs. You have some programs for the residents. You have amazing programs for the outreach that can't get into the program based on their age.
Right.
So I'm thinking, you know, I'm visualizing this place where they're living, okay, and all the needs that they need, clothing and diapers and food, and where does all this funding come from?
It's all fundraising
Okay.
and donors. We do not get money from the state, and even though it was started by a Catholic sister, we do not get any support from the Archdiocese of Detroit financially. So it's all fundraising. We have fundraisers. We have one coming up on February 1st. It's going to be a sock hop. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if you go to our website, giannahouse.org, you can get more information on that and everything about our programs. And then we'll have a golf outing coming up in August. So we do a lot of fundraising. We get a tremendous amount of support from local organizations, Catholic churches, the Knights of Columbus.
Are these, because before you said there's no monetary from the Catholic diocese, but
Right.
there is like in-kind donations from the different churches?
Oh,
or-
yes, the churches are amazing. The local churches are amazing. Tons of diapers and clothing and wipes and just the things you don't really think about that everybody needs and they don't necessarily have. And if we see that someone has something and we know we can connect it, refrigerators, stoves, you know, things like that, we have volunteers who will pick up the appliances and take them and install them.
So I'm going to throw this out, and hopefully my brother and sister-in-law don't hate me for it, but they have 3 little beautiful boys that have outgrown these cute little seats that they sit in and they jump up and down. Do you
Yes.
take those kind of
There are
items?
certain things we're not allowed
I know
to
you can't take
by
car
law.
seats.
Car seats, cribs, and
And-
walkers.
Yes. So this is a bouncy thing that has little toys
Yes.
with it. So those are
We will take those and we will pass them on to moms who can use them.
okay. So yeah, they would be at the residence location.
Yes.
You would keep them all there. So you have lots of fundraisers. Where do you get the volunteers from?
Oh, just people who are just passionate about Gianna House. They are really, our supporters are amazing. And our board is extremely active. We have 9 board members. And one of them told us a story the other night. Her name is Biz. It's really Elizabeth. And she's like an earth mother. You know, she had 5 children of her own, and she comes and she babysits so the moms can take the classes.
Oh, sweet.
So she was just telling us the other day, watching the growth of the baby, but also the growth of the mother through the months as she's taking the
bet.
classes.
Yeah.
And this one particular mother, she said the other day, told her, guess who's teaching the next class? Me.
Oh,
You know, so it's just good
Yeah.
for them all the way around. Instead of giving them a handout that they feel like they're taking a handout, they're taking the classes, they're earning the money, they're doing the work, they're having the fellowship with other women who
Yeah.
are in the same place, which is huge. And it's all done in just an environment of love.
so when they work, do you guys like set up an account for them to save the money, or is it when they earn money it's theirs, or do you teach them how to save money and deal with money and to be able to go out and live in the real world too?
They can learn the money management in the classes, but while they're here, they're focused on their education.
Okay.
Without that education,
They're not gonna
they
get a good
cannot
job,
they
yeah.
cannot get a good job. How can they support themselves, much less their child, when they do go back out into the world? And so it's really important that we just build them up
Yeah.
spiritually, emotionally, educationally. We build them up so that they can become members, thriving members of society.
So do you help them find a place once they're a graduate?
We will. Of course, we've only been open for
Yeah.
the residents since May, and our young women are all still 17.
Okay.
And so we haven't gotten to that place yet.
Okay. And when is your golf outing fundraiser?
The golf outing is going to be at the end of summer.
Okay.
The information on that will also be on the website.
And what's the website again?
GiannaHouse.org.
You want to spell Gianna? I spell it differently, so go ahead and spell it.
GIANNA
It is
house.org.
Yeah, okay, so I spelled it with
Yes.
one N, so that's the thing.
There's some testimonies on there from the various mothers and pictures, and we do send out a newsletter once a quarter, keeping our donors up to date on what's been going on. We had a huge fundraiser last winter, a Tuscan evening. We raised $40,000 in one evening.
Are you kidding? We need to connect because Kiwanis needs to do a big fundraiser like that.
You know, there's a lot of people who are very passionate
Yeah.
about life
Yeah.
and about human life and about preserving it, and are very passionate about the people who are underserved, and there are just too many women who are living in poverty. They're becoming the fastest growing numbers of homeless. And it's just, we're the richest country in the world. There's no excuse for it. So if everybody does a little, then, everybody can survive and thrive.
Have you found over the years that they've been doing this, that the parents do step back in to help their child, or no?
Sometimes the parents are barriers to
Worse.
them getting
Okay.
help. They want to kick them out, so they don't want us taking them in.
Oh.
It's really a sad situation.
Okay.
It really is. It makes you very grateful for the parenting you received
Yeah.
and for the family that you have. Not everybody has a family.
Yeah. How many women are involved in the outreach? Like how many participants?
How many participants? In the last 4 years since it opened, which I will give credit to Sister Teresa Mayrand. She's a dynamo, and she has taken this from just a little tiny program that we thought, well, maybe we can do this while we're doing this. And she's just made it this thriving program. And we've helped thousands of women.
Really? Thousands?
Thousands.
Do you find any of them coming back to help you?
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
a good return?
It is a good return. And it's just a good feeling, I told this story before, I'm sure you've heard it, but one time when I was volunteering, this woman came in with her children. She was very pregnant and homeless, just became homeless. And she was very elegant and soft-spoken and sitting there. And all of a sudden, when we were alone, she looked at me and she started crying, and she said, I don't know how this happened to me.
Wow.
You know, everybody thinks that you've done something terrible to get into this position. She said, I was working, I was taking care of my children. She met someone and remarried, and he started abusing her. So her mother wouldn't let her move in with her children, because her boyfriend said no. Her sister said, you can stay for 1 week, but then it's just too many people. So here she is, pregnant with all these children, living in a car, had to flee her home with nothing. And now, what does she do?
Yeah.
And so she came to Gianna House, and we helped her with everything we could. My Kiwanis club gave her money for all the children to get school clothes, because school was starting. Another organization gave us backpacks. And when she got into some housing, we helped her with some appliances. And
Do you work
it doesn't get any better than
referrals
that.
for like apartments referrals, or like you can say, okay, I have a mom with 3 kids, I need a house, and you call someone?
We don't do that ourselves, because we focus on the people that we have a mission, we have a vision, and if you get too big, you can
Yeah.
lose that.
Yeah.
But we have relationships with like social workers.
Okay.
They might bring some of their clients. They have brought some of their clients there for assistance, and so we have a good outreach.
Okay. So we have a couple more minutes left. Tell
Okay.
me a little bit more about this fundraiser, the Sock Hop. Where is it at? How much does it cost?
Okay.
And are you looking for not only, of course, sponsorship money, but, can we bring in-kind donations, diapers or, stuff like that?
We will always accept in-kind donations, diapers, wipes, baby lotions, shampoos. All of those are the most needed. We probably have enough clothes right now. We get a lot of wonderful baby clothes.
Okay.
And the tickets are $50 each.
Okay.
And it's going to be just in the St. Veronica gym. So it's going to be an old-fashioned sock hop with the bleachers and the decorations. And a local Coney Island is donating all the food. So we're
I
going
might have to come
that.
from my district board meeting that day and just head to your place. I think I should. Yeah.
We're going to have we're going to have some really wonderful live auction items.
Okay.
One includes a week in a condo in Mexico.
Yeah, I saw you put that out on Facebook. Yeah.
And when we have a couple of other items.
So they
like
can
that.
go to giannahouse.org.
Correct.
And they can register for the sock hop
They
there.
sure can, right online.
Okay. Okay. Well, I know you will continue to doing your very best for helping these young ladies. That
Yes.
you are an angel to them, and I want to thank you for being here tonight and doing what you do to help. And this is very hard to help so many kids. It's amazing. So thank you. Thank you for doing it.
You
Keep doing
cannot
it.
outgive God, and these young women give us so much more than we could ever give
Yeah.
them. So
So
thank you for having me.
No, our pleasure.
Thanks for
and
helping us get the
we'll
word
get
out.
the word out, and
Okay.
hey, get around Kiwanis and do some talking there. They are.
Oh, I
we're
do.
always looking for speakers.
Okay.
Okay, thank
Invite
you.
me over.
Yeah, that's right. Dearborn, we can get you at Dearborn. you know where we're at now. So
Okay.
thank you for being with us tonight, and go to their website if you want more information, and help support these young ladies that really need our help.